This next story was sent in by someone named Ethan. He worked in cybersecurity, helping companies protect their networks after they had been breached, and for the most part, his job was straightforward: find vulnerabilities and patch them before hackers could do more damage. But this time things were different. What started off as a normal night on the job quickly turned into one of the most terrifying experiences of his life. It all started when he was hired by a small company that had recently been the victim of a phishing scam. An employee had clicked a bad link, and hackers had gotten into their system. Ethan was supposed to monitor their network overnight to ensure nothing else had slipped through. He figured it'd be a quiet night, but as the clock ticked closer to 3 a.m., things took a turn he wasn't ready for. Ethan noticed something weird on his screen, and his network traffic monitor, which had been showing normal activity for hours, suddenly lit up with a flood of data. Thousands of requests, far more than any normal usage. He tried to track it where it was coming from, but the logs didn't make any sense. The source was all over the place, bouncing between random IP addresses. He had never seen anything like this. At first he thought it was some sort of DDoS attack where hackers flood a network with traffic to crash it, but then something even stranger happened. His mouse stopped moving. The cursor was completely frozen on the screen. Ethan tried unplugging his mouse, resetting his keyboard. Nothing worked. Then, out of nowhere, a small new window popped up open on his desktop. It was a blank notepad file. He swore he hadn't touched anything, but then text started to appear. Someone or something was typing. The message was short and simple. "Hello, Ethan." He started at the screen in disbelief. He hadn't told anyone he was working on this case, and there was no way someone could have just hijacked his computer like this. So he typed back, "Who is this?" Immediately, the response came, "I live here now. You left the door open." And that's when Ethan remembered. 2 weeks earlier, he had opened an email, seemed urgent, labeled client request. He hadn't thought much of it at the time, just a phishing attempt like so many others. He didn't click any links, didn't download any files. At least, that's what he thought. But somehow he had been wrong. He must have clicked something, or whatever it was. It had let something in. And not just a virus. It was something far worse. Ethan scrambled to disconnect his computer from the internet, pulling up the command to the server on the connection, but right as he was about to hit enter, his entire screen went black. Then, as if mocking him, the system rebooted on its own. When it came back, it wasn't just slow, it was empty. His files, the tools he had used to monitor the network, everything had been wiped. Every folder was empty, like the hard drive had been completely erased. But there was one thing left, the notepad document, and another message. "You let me in, Ethan. Now I'm everywhere." At that same moment, Ethan's phone started buzzing. Not just one notification, but dozens. It wasn't just his system that was compromised. The company he was protecting, all of their networks had been breached. Security systems were going down, files were being stolen, and personal information was leaking in real time. And worse than that, it wasn't just happening to this one company. Reports of massive cyber attacks were coming in from across the globe. No one knew where it started from or how quickly it spreaded. Just when Ethan thought it couldn't get worse, his phone lit up with a message from an unknown number. "I'm not done yet, Ethan. I'm in your phone now." He didn't know what to do. It was as if a hacker, or whatever it was everywhere. The more he tried to shut it down, the further it spread, like some kind of digital parasite. No antivirus program could detect it, no firewall could stop it. It was a ghost in the machine, feeding on data and taking over everything in its path, and worst of all, it seemed to be playing with him. Ethan never found out exactly what had attacked him that night. He had to wipe every device he had owned and fresh start. But even now, He's never sure if the ghost in the network is truly gone. Every now and then, when he's working late, his computer will glitch. For a split second, he swears he can see that message again. I'm not done yet. Thanks for listening to this story. Always remember the digital world has its own dangers, and sometimes the scariest threats are the ones you can't see. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure you subscribe for more tales from the dark side of the internet. And as always, stay safe.